Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Between Realities, the VR podcast of your dreams. It is an absolute pleasure to have you here with us. My name is Alex VR. I am one of the hosts of this show, and I am joined here, as always, by my co-host, Skiva. Skiva, how you doing, brother?
Pretty good, dude. Can't wait for today's show. We got an awesome guest and an awesome game to talk about, so I'm stoked.
Dude,
Stoked!
The timing couldn't be any better.
Heck yeah.
This is like perfect timing. Yep. Perfect timing for what's going down today.
Yep.
Hello, everyone. Here we are live on Between Realities Friday, and it is an absolute pleasure to have you all here with us. Sweaty Nugget JJ, our longtime fan and homie. Sweat Nug JJ, first in the chat. Sheesh with all the emojis. It's good to see you, brother. Glenn Radcliffe is here. What's up, man? Sent out the message earlier, and Glenn answered the call. Mike Newton letting us start the weekend. Thank you, brother. Always good to see you here. Dude, he does. He's here, and he does. And, dude, I'm liking the content, man. Everybody go subscribe to Dude, he does.
Yes.
He's making shit happen.
It's good stuff, man.
Tones My Bones is
Funny
here.
guy.
Season 1 fan, OG fan, man. Thanks for
What's up,
being
Tones?
here. We've got Jansen Fox doing the damn thing over on Twitch. Traveling Man says this game is the definition of Between Realities. He's, of course, talking about Space Pirate Arena, and that's what we'll be getting into today. Also, before the show even started, Traveling Man drops the super chat on us. $5 super chat for the rocket fuel. Thank you, brother, for supporting Between Realities. It really means the world to us.
Thanks, dude.
We've got Z-Storm.
Z, what is up,
crushing
my
it
man?
on Twitch as well. We've got Texas Green Tea here for it, right on time. What's up, Texas Green Tea? Thanks for being here, dude. Oh, dude, the VR Chat channel, something that Steve and I both collaborate with.
Yeah.
We love doing our Rec Room interviews on the VR Chat channel. Thanks for being here, dude.
Heck yeah. Thanks.
Dude, Andy's here. The Obscure Nerd. Wow, your pal is here.
What's up, guys?
Your pal is verified up in the chat. German
Nice.
Rifter, Daniel the homie, has been
dude.
around forever, man. We
Right
love
on.
you. Dude, who else we got up in here? Pabark. Get it, Alex and Skiva? Dude, thanks for showing up, Pabark. It's been great having you in the chat. D1360 VR says his avatar's ready. Mateo is here.
Mateo.
Jesus, what's up, everybody? So,
we got another super chat from Z Storm Games. Let's get that confetti.
whoa,
What?
dude, a 20, I'm going to call it $20. All right, next time, give us the extra cent, Z. Jesus Christ. $19.99 from Z Storm. Dude, that's amazing. Thank you so much for being here, bro.
Thanks for your support, guys.
It
We
means
love
the
you
world
guys.
to us. We actually spent around that amount yesterday, didn't we?
We did.
We spent a little bit of Between Realities money, and what did we spend it on?
We had to. We didn't have to. We really wanted to go out and reserve a basketball court so we could run around in this bitchin' new game
That
called Space Pirate Trainer DX.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it
of
was
course,
friggin' amazing, man. We're gonna get into that in a minute, though.
yes, we're gonna get into it like right now. Brittany's here, my love, my bride. Hello, my dear.
What
my
is
wife is here.
up?
Say hello. Oh, German Rifter, 5 pounds. Happy weekend, everyone.
Aw,
Another super chat.
thank you.
Dude, getting monetized like the best thing we ever did, man. I'm loving this.
We're rich.
Loving every second of it. You guys are amazing.
Love you guys,
Thank
for
you
real.
so much. Okay, listen, we have
Yes.
an amazing guest waiting in the
We
wings
do.
right now. Let's not keep him waiting anymore. You guys know what we're here to talk about today from the Space Pirate Trainer team. Everyone, please welcome Chris Hanney.
What's up, Chris?
Hello. Am I here?
You are here.
You're here, man.
You're here and you're on.
Mate.
Welcome to the Between Realities spaceship. How are you doing this evening?
It's very much evening. It's midnight here in nice and summery Belgium.
Wow.
Dude, thank you
Yes.
for staying up.
Thank you.
Burning the midnight oil with us, staying up till midnight to show up on the live show. That means the world to us, dude.
Doing it for you guys. It's great.
Thanks so much.
it's
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
you.
You could stop doing stuff for us anytime because I feel like Space Pirate Arena was like made for us. This is the kind of thing that we've been waiting for and asking for the past couple years now. And yesterday we had the chance to dive into it, the co-location 1v1 blasting shit. And dude, I had a ton of fun.
Dude, it was a dream come true. It really was. It was like being at a location-based arcade thing, but we were just hanging out by ourselves doing it. It was crazy. It was absolutely amazing. I've never felt such presence in a game before.
I'm dripping sweat by the end of the session. We went for an hour. We like rented the basketball court for an hour, and it cost like $14 or something like that.
It was actually $10.50.
Wow, $10.50, and we got a basketball court. We got the half court.
Yeah.
Had a great time maximizing my boundary in that bitch, and we ran around, dude, and we had so much fun. So tell us, what's it like in the office? Like the buzz going? You guys excited? Like what's the vibe right now?
We're just really excited that other people can play it. So we've had this little game, Space Pirate Arena, to ourselves since I'd say 2018, when we first started developing it so we finished Space Pirate Trainer 2017. We spent most of 2018 on Space Pirate Arena, but there was no way to really even play it. Like we couldn't even play it. We tried with Windows Mixed Reality headsets, but those headsets were fine, but we couldn't really guarantee that the two players that were playing it were going to be orientated the right way. We tried with Vive Pro 2, which was pretty good. It's the Vive Pro, the first Vive Pro with Steam VR 2. But you couldn't guarantee that the tracking was going to be fine there either, because it wasn't going to allow you to have this massive space to have two players playing. But it wasn't until the Quest came out that we realized this is the right tech. And that took us like 3 years of R&D to actually find, and Oculus just plomped it on us. And we're like, oh, thanks. And it works really well. You can have this massive space in a thing that people can afford at home. Like you can still get large scale VR stuff at like LBE spaces, but to afford to do that at home, to have large scale tracking at home or anywhere, only Oculus has done that so far. And so we're really excited that now is the right time to ship this.
And it works. We were in there, we had it up and running pretty quick, relatively quick, I would say, for VR tech. Anybody who is out there who uses VR knows a lot of times you got to jump through hoops. And I would say, yeah, you might jump through a hoop or two to align this and get everything like dialed up and good to go. But it works, and we spent most of our time there playing, which I think is huge, especially for day one. This is the day it came out, and we spent most of our hour playing and very little time like troubleshooting or recalibrating or anything like that. And I imagine
like once,
a couple of times, especially if you like go outside of the boundary. I can imagine how maddening that R&D must have been for you guys, or like the testing to like get those play spaces to line up to where you see the avatar.
Honestly, we've had a really great run of good tech. Like Windows Mixed Reality has been generally pretty good. Now this is for people from the olden days. This is like 2017. We adored that tech. It was the first time we could actually put a laptop in our backpack and walk around a space. And that in itself was mind-blowing when we were first making this stuff. So at that point in time, we hadn't made a game that was built around running. It was built around, maybe I can walk. We didn't know what we were making. We just liked the idea of having a game where you could walk a space, and then two players walking a space. It was nice. But when we were playing with Steam VR 2, where you could actually start to have good quality tracking, it became a game that was actually built around running. And then when Quest came out, we're like, we can have the same amount of space, run, no cables, and everyone can play it. Like this is a slam dunk. So this game had to happen.
Absolutely. I do feel that this is the natural progression of virtual reality and standalone virtual reality, being able to do something like this. And we've done some similar things, a couple of co-location experiences, and even some that are Quest standalone, but this is where it's at. Like,
nailed it.
Absolutely polished. Had so much fun. Space Denizen is here, by the way. What's up, dude? Thanks for joining us. And we had Pabark with a $20 super chat.
Yeah.
Bro, love you guys, says Pabark.
Thank you,
man.
We do. We love you. Thanks, man.
Thanks for being here, brother. It's awesome. Pabark, by the way, is a real life friend of mine, and I'm sure all of you guys know it's not always easy to get those real life friends into your VR circle, So it's great to have him here. You know, I will say there was one moment during our play session yesterday where Steve and I absolutely ran into each other. Like, boom! Like,
I almost broke Alex's nose.
Did you guys bump into each other while in these past 2 years while you've been setting this up and dialing it?
Honestly, with Quest, it's happened less and less. Most of our bumps into were in earlier versions of this game, but with Quest, it's generally been pretty good. We've spent a lot of time building a warning system to prevent you from bumping. So most of the time when you come close to someone, you're going to have this big red circle around someone saying, slow down.
And that happens.
So generally speaking, most of the time you're not going to do it.
That happened. I was so immersed, right? So when it happened, it was I died, Alex killed me, and I was in the void, right? Where you have to get to a spawn point. Now there are physical spawn points for you guys who haven't played this, and that you can't just be spawned into the level because the level is the size of the room. So you have to go to the spawn point. You have to get there within a certain amount of time or you lose a life, right? So I saw that spawn point across the room and it was counting down and I just ran. I ran. Something red came up, but I didn't care. I was like so in it, man. I was so in it. I just ran right through Alex. That clocked him in the face. But like
it did happen. But I'll tell you this. Yeah. I noticed that red thing more times. We had the one time that we ran into each other, but I absolutely noticed that red aura. And I think you guys did a good job of that because you don't want it to be like you see the red aura every time you're dead because then, you know, you know where your opponent is or whatever. This is like as it's getting closer, it kind of gets a little stronger and like I was going towards a spawn point one time and I saw Skiva was running up on it and I was like, oh shit, I see him coming over here. And I kind of took a step back and then I spawned right in front of him.
Well, you know, that was the first time I had seen that. I didn't know, like it was close to the beginning of our play session, right? So I just wasn't aware of that system yet, right? It just didn't click in. But after that, I was absolutely aware. You know what I mean? And I knew what it meant from that point on. So it wasn't an issue after that.
So Chris, do you guys see like, because when I was in there, one of the first things I started thinking about was like, oh man, I would love to see like the two best players go at it in this, you know, like, do you guys foresee a esports scene? Do you see this getting competitive? Like, what's the vision?
We'd like it to. We personally play this as an esport in our team. So we had a tournament on Wednesday night, so just 2 nights ago, where we played against to see who was the ultimate space pirate between the devs, and it was one of the most fulfilling nights of, I mean, at least my year. It was so much fun to play this game we've been spending so much time on as an esport, and it was addictive. So we had both quests being streamed to 2 PCs and everyone who wasn't competing watching what was going on, and we really got into it. It was a really exciting night. And so yeah, do I see this becoming a sport that people want to watch? Absolutely, because I already want to watch it. And I think if I want to watch it, there's a good chance that people who actually like sports might want to watch it.
Oh, because, you know, it becomes a different game when the intention shifts to being competitive and really trying to win. You know, like when we were just playing casually. We're having fun, you know, we're testing the waters. We're just like kind of loose with it. So I might just like boss mode, like with a stiff arm out, like walk through the middle of the map and just be like, come on, you know, like see what I can get into, see what happens. But in a competitive match, maybe I like post up and I do not move and I do not give up my position for a minute and I let them peek out, you know, and there might be these like really intense stalemates, you know, where both players are kind of scared to stick their necks out. And I can only imagine how intense it would actually get when 2 people who are really competitive get the chance to play this against each other.
It's going to be awesome. I can't wait to see that happen, man. I can't wait to see some legit leagues pick this up and really people like Pesky Cashew and, you know, some of the really, really good players out there. I want to see them go at it in this. And I'd pay for a subscription, whatever, man. This game is amazing. The competitiveness is amazing. The physicalness of this game. Like I felt like I actually got some exercise while playing a game, which is very rare.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, and I feel like there's like real life balance in effect too, you know, like I'm sure all of our viewers here know Skiva is a considerably large man in comparison, especially to someone like me. I'm just like an average height guy, maybe even slightly less than average. And Skiva's way above average. And our avatars look like life size when you're in Space Pirate Arena. And there are moments where Skiva is behind cover and he's so fucking tall, his head is above everything. So like his whole body is covered and he's like shooting down on me across the map, you know? And meanwhile, I'm like trying to hide.
There's
in little
also
corners.
disadvantages, right? Because there's a shield you bring up on your left hand, right? And when the shield isn't that big, but if you're able to crouch down and you're a certain size person, you can really cover a good amount of your body. It was very, very difficult for me to kind of block myself, right? And because I'm just a large guy.
This is the Alex advantage, because the shield does not scale. Right. So Alex's shield is the same as Skiva's shield, so it is exactly the same for both of you. So it's been specifically designed to play. Well, it might not be a fair advantage, but we really enjoyed playing this with our kids. So playing with tiny space pirates and running around. This is not necessarily with the terms and conditions of an Oculus account, but playing it with our kids has been such a fun part of this development cycle, and having tiny space pirates running around with giant shields, and our shield is kind of tiny.
That is hilarious. I was definitely shooting Skiva in the junk over and over and over again.
Yep.
Like that whole space from his chest below was all free game. Just lighting that up. But like I said, he got to hide behind stuff, so it's cool to see.
Yeah, there was both.
It's cool to see that.
Yeah, I feel like there wasn't. There was a little bit of an advantage with my height being able to go over some walls, but there was a bit of an advantage with Alex being able to shoot me where I can't block it with my shield, right? So it kind of evens out. You know, it's great. What do you think about this new trailer? Right, should we show people the trailer?
Let's run this.
You should show the trailer.
Let's run this trailer real quick.
Let's do that. Here, I'm going to bring up the volume here, guys, and we're going to check this thing out. This came out today.
This is ridiculous.
This came out today. So let's.
This came out a couple of hours ago.
Yes. All right.
Let's take a look.
Let's check it out.
Dude.
Wow.
Is this like the Matrix 6 or what?
I know, right?
Fuck?
Absolutely
Dude,
bananas.
that's like cinema quality. Like I have not. Have we seen a VR trailer like this before? Maybe one of Oculus's.
Oculus had come out with a few things that were like this, but this is the best I've seen.
That's kind of what it feels like to be in there. Yeah. What do you think, Chris?
Well, we wanted to show what it was like to play this game, right? Because it's a hard game to explain in words. Like, it's you need to have a 10 by 10 meter space or a 33 by 33 feet space, and that is already confusing to a lot of people. And then it's about movement, it's about running, it's about hiding, it's about tag, right? So there's a lot of things that don't make sense in traditional gaming, and we really wanted to convey that in our trailer. And so we started to work on a prototype years ago on how to explain that gameplay, but none of it really made sense until we experimented with just a single camera focusing on a player playing the game. And so then we experimented with just augmenting lasers. So you see the first part of the trailer, it starts off in like a basketball court with two players just shooting at each other. And that was the easiest way for us to explain how it feels to play this game. But then we wanted to bring players like into the game. Like, what does it actually feel like to be in the game? It's one thing to understand what it's like to shoot and stuff, but what's it like to be running around the hallways and shooting and going crazy? And we had to throw in a bit of CGI fun for that. And with some help from a local Belgian cinema director. From César, they call it CZAR. We managed to make this incredible little short film, I guess.
That's
how we look at it.
That's an accurate. It is like a short film. By the way, Hilto is here. What's up, Hilto? We've also got Dark Angel in the house.
What's up, Dark Angel? How you guys doing?
Nathy sliding in at the right moment.
Nathy.
Good to see
Hey,
you,
Nathy.
Yeah, we've seen Nathy in photos with you for years now, man.
Yeah,
you guys
playing.
Nathy and I have been in photos for years now.
That's amazing. So, first of all, I will mention the trailer very smoothly does what you just said it does. Like, goes from the basketball, and before you know it, you're in the world, and the guy's a robot, and like, I think it is very elegant the way that you kind of transitioned it. I personally have taken, I think. I'm gonna start this by saying I love this trailer. All right, but in the past I've taken issue with this kind of like cinematic approach to commercials and to trailers to get people to understand what it feels like to be in there, because I feel like commercials look like this for PlayStation 2. They're like, oh, you're in the game now. So did you guys kind of consider any of that? Because personally, the Population 1 commercials, like the Oculus ones that we put out, I thought they went way too far on the cinematic portion of that. And they almost set this like unrealistic expectation as to what you can experience when you get in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this was never intended as a gameplay trailer. So it's more of a vision for how we imagine VR might be. Like, it's not a case of what we think it is today. And that's why there's no at all semblance of showing what this game looks like. It is clearly not a game when it starts out, and as it goes through, it's still clearly not a game as it ends. So there are elements of obvious this is not real in the trailer, but at no point do we indicate that this is intended gameplay.
Right. Well, I still think while that's the case, I would say that Oculus did the same thing, right? They're like, hey, for the record, this is not gameplay.
Well, so
I think this does a better job, if I can say that.
I like to counter that a little bit by saying that when Oculus did it, Oculus took all of the CG. It was like 100% CG for the most part, right? And they just made it look cinema quality CG, and which kind of implied that that's what the game looked like. This is like actual footage of buildings in actual guns in people's hand. It wasn't. So with the Oculus stuff, I felt it was very misleading because it was the actual assets, but
and you
looking
like see their
way
hands
better
and stuff like that.
Right. So,
I feel you.
Yeah. So I wouldn't say this is really like that.
But in their defense, they're still trying to sell the same idea. It's trying to sell a concept of how gaming can be. Like within Population 1, like it is something that I think is easier to sell than our game, but it still requires a slight suspension of what you know to try something different. And so with Population 1, like while most of it was very high-end CG, which is something a Quest can't handle, like for sure the Quest 1 and 2 cannot handle the CG that we've implemented in this trailer, or the real life stuff in this trailer. I think there's still something going for it when it's a selling point for a concept, because most people, generally speaking, have not tried VR before.
This is true.
Dude, it looks freaking amazing. Like, it literally looks like that scene of the robot turning the corner. Like, it almost gives me goosebumps.
The space pirate, I know, dude.
Which, by the way, how many times did you shit your pants during our session?
Oh my God, man! Like coming around a corner and having you there with a gun. Oh, it was scary.
That's why we wanted to have that in the trailer. Because it's those moments in when you're playing, when you finally see that face staring at you, like There's no swearing in this podcast.
Oh, there's tons of swearing in this podcast.
Doggone it, I would say. Doggone it. There's that pirate face staring at me with their pistol. You feel it.
You really do. David DeJong, by the way, also slid in here. I'm assuming you go back just as far with him as you do with Nathy. Also, Short Stack VR slid in the house, as well as Quick Cosplay, our friend. Oh,
what's up, guys?
And a little sadly, it's Bradley, who did a really fun live stream today on his Twitch where he was breaking down a Vive from like 2015 and like pulling all the panels out and stuff.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Dang, I missed that.
Yeah, see, that's right up your alley.
I'll have to go back and check it out. Yeah, I love that stuff.
I made a comment.
Wait. Bradley pulled it apart?
Yep.
Was it the dev kit for the HTC Vive, or was it the actual HTC
Brad,
Vive?
you can clear that up. I think it was just a Vive, but
I'm gonna have to look that video up. I'm gonna have to look it up. It breaks my heart, but I assume that it was broken.
I think he had a good enough reason, you know. I think it was just laying around, and he was like, "All right."
I haven't seen one of those working in years, so I assume it was broken.
Well, I'm assuming it probably was too, because otherwise that would.
It's broken now, right?
Yeah, it's done. It's done for sure. He was like pulling, what is that? Like the main head up. What the hell is the main chunk called? I don't even know. See,
motherboard or something?
No, I'm so not a tech guy. I'm so not a tech guy.
But anyway, thanks for coming, Bradley.
Yeah, dude, good to see you. So, yeah,
Bradley's amazing.
He is. We love him. He was on our show some time ago back, but anyway, yes, there was a lot of insane, really exciting moments where I was like exclaiming, you know, and I honestly haven't had a VR session like that in a long time where I am just like, and I mean, we were just like, you don't even have to say one more game. It's just like, we're like instantly walking back to our spawn points, like next game. The
hardest thing was deciding if we were going to change the map or not.
Right.
Like, do we change it? No, let's just get back in there.
Yeah, it's great. So I actually wanted, you know, being them talking about maps is a perfect segue. I wanted to ask a little bit about the custom rooms, right? Because we didn't really have any opportunity to play around with those. And somebody mentioned when we talked about the show earlier in the week that there might be, if you can create your own room, what's to keep people from like making just like a narrow corridor and like having it work within their play space? Like, are you able to like manipulate the play spaces to that level, or what can you expect from that?
Our initial stance is this is a 10 by 10 space game. So to play this game properly, you need to have a large space, like on a tennis court or a basketball court or somewhere in a covered gymnasium. But within that's based on us playing and wanting to enjoy a game of running, right? And so the emphasis behind that was about us playing a game where we really wanted to get lost in VR and not feel like we were stuck behind a computer desk. So that's the genesis of Arena. The ability to build your own levels, that was mostly to make it super fast for us to prototype level design. So we could, in that 10 by 10, make it really quick for us to work out what's fun to hide behind, what's fun to run behind. Like we'd made a lot of levels in Counter-Strike. We've been doing that for almost decades as a team. But that's kind of different in a 10 by 10 running space. And so we started building this level editor to work out what's fun. What do we think our players will enjoy? And then that became the best tool to prototype in. And we're super excited that we were able to ship it to being a thing that our players can prototype in.
That's really cool.
So to use it as a reason to be able to play it in smaller spaces, that's not why we made it. But for sure, it could be misused that way.
Right. Yeah. Misused, I think, being the key word here. Right. But my imagination took me to like a quick draw, right? Like maybe I don't have a lot of room in my house, but I have like a nice hallway. So maybe I can like make a room where I just put barriers and create a hallway, and I can stand back to back, you know, get in the space, go back to back with my friend and do like 5 paces and turn and shoot or something, you know? So I think that would probably make a lot of players happy, even though that's not your intention. I think just like having that opportunity to mess around with it would make a lot of people happy.
You know, I feel like it's something that people daydream about, and it would probably be really cool if you could get it to work. But I'll tell you this, man, you know, we had a big open basketball court with lines all over the floor, and we still had a hard enough time fighting with the Guardian a little bit, just Oculus's Guardian right off the bat, that I feel like that would be very difficult.
Not to
Maybe
mention,
someone would pull it off, but I mean,
that space, it seems big until you get in there.
Until you fill it with walls.
Yeah, and then you're in it, and before you know it, you feel like you are in a tight quarters with this guy.
Yeah.
Even though you're running, you know, in a 30 by 30 space, it shrinks considerably when shit gets real.
Yeah, I mean, there is a lot being crammed into that 32 foot by 32 foot or 10 by 10 meter space, right? There's walls everywhere. There's windows. There's rocks on the floors. There's all kinds of things to fill that space. And then the space doesn't feel quite as large anymore, right? So especially when you're being hunted, you know,
And
you're like
straight up,
hunting
dude.
your friend and you're being hunted. And like you want to be able to kind of run and hide and kind of get around a corner somewhere where maybe they're not going to, but eventually you're going to find you. You're going to get found, and it's going to be scary.
Being able to move around freely in that much space really is the magic of this game. Like it really is. And I think to not do that would be cutting the experience extremely short. Like it felt so damn good to break out into a jog. And I was doing it like in the lobby, you know, like just the pregame lobby, just like jogging around in that space and being like, holy shit, I am running with a VR headset on. Like it really is magical. It's so liberating. And it is a glimpse, in my opinion, at what it will be like for all VR in the future. Being able to move around with that level of freedom is brilliant.
Yeah, and I am showing our actual gameplay is kind of what's running here. So this is me and Alex actually running around and play this game. We don't have the actual footage of us in the gym, but this is recorded straight from my headset. So you'll see me die a lot. But man, it brings me back. Like it's like watching footage after going on a ride at Disney.
Right.
You know, and you're like, oh man, remember that ride? That was so much fun. And like this is something else, man. This is next level.
So what's like huge or what's important about Space Pirate Arena that we haven't gotten to yet? You know, like there's got to be something that like stands out that like, you know, as far as you guys are concerned, like you wish more people knew or talked about or considered when they were talking about this game. So is there anything that's like kind of crucial about this that we haven't yet touched on?
The simplest component of Arena that makes it fun is that it's hide and seek. And so we've been selling it as a gun game, but it's not about guns. It's about hide and seek. It's about not being seen, and it's about shooting. Like you guys talked about it before, like in an esports sense, like what would happen with professional players? Like would it turn into this battle of people holding out their fort? It might, because this game is really about hide and seek, which is why we one of the first things we implemented after making core game concept was this gun that can bounce around walls, so that if you are in a stalemate position, you can still hit the opponent without seeing them. But this game is about hide and seek. It's about not being seen, being quiet, especially in co-location. If you're in the same 10 by 10 meter or 32 by 32 meter space as your opponent, it's built around not being detected by the other person. And so it's super important to remain as quiet as possible. And it's super important to be very fast on acting on that person as soon as you see them.
Yeah, you got to draw quick. By the way, that bounce shot, a lot of fun to play with. And Skiva won a game with one that was so fucking nasty. Like I was posted, like hiding. Just like you were saying, I was hiding. I'm waiting for this guy to expose himself somewhere, and I'm just chilling. And out of nowhere, right off the wall, right in front of me, bounces straight off that wall and straight into me. And I was like, dude, no way. He was like, it was like a
Those are
such a
one-shot
sharp angle.
kills too. If you
Such a
charge
sharp
that game up, that gunshot up all the way, that's one shot, one kill, man. It's really cool. But as you saw, if you accidentally shoot it and bounce it off the wall and hit yourself, you kill yourself.
I killed myself with one of them too. And That
I've
hurts.
done that many times, many times. Because when you charge that gun up, it also makes a sound the other person can hear.
Yeah.
So if you're charging it up, they can hear you when you're walking. And so occasionally I'm like letting it go just so they can stop hearing me. But then occasionally I hit myself.
And the shield as well.
Yeah, they reflect
shield
off
as
the
well.
shield, right? Can you get hit off of a deflected
And you
shot?
hear the shield. And it's also a way to give away your position.
Yeah, if you trigger it.
Yeah.
So a lot of these mechanics came from Space Pirate Trainer. So you can bounce your bullets off in Space Pirate Trainer, the classic that's still included in DX. So you can still hit yourself off a shield in DX. In classic Space Pirate Trainer, you can do the same thing in Arena against somebody else. So if you shoot someone with their shield out in the right angle, they're gonna kill you.
You know, I want to talk a little bit about Space Pirate Trainer. Okay, this game for the uninitiated is a classic in the VR space. You know, I think this was like one of the first games that people just loved in VR. Like people just got hooked on this thing. It's in arcades everywhere. Like it's on every Quest. You know, like I feel like Space Pirate Trainer really has deep roots in the VR world, in the VR community, and I was absolutely blown away when I found out that this was going to be a free update to this game. Like this is a game that like everyone should own already, you know, and we were ready to break out our wallets and drop the money on just Arena alone, standalone, you know, like we thought that was going to be the case, and it ended up not being. You guys did a free update. Like, did you guys go back and forth on that? Was the plan always to make it a free update?
No, we spent we first unveiled Arena in I think August 2019, and we've spent between August 2019 and let's say sometime this year debating about how to release the game. And it wasn't until Oculus said, yeah, it's fine, you can release this game, that we said, okay, then we're going to release it as a free upgrade for Space Pirate Trainer. And that may or may not have been their preferred choice of releasing it, because it's what we said. We want to release this as a free upgrade for Space Pirate Trainer, because we honestly see this as we've been spending most of our budget out of Space Pirate Trainer on this product, on Arena. And that came from Quest purchases. And so we see this as like a thank you to the Quest community for embracing Space Pirate Trainer and supporting us. And it's it really comes down to us just being thankful to so many people supporting us on Quest.
Wow.
And you know what many people aren't talking about either is this isn't the only update in this game. There's also a classic style Space Pirate Trainer like game, right? Where it's you and a buddy and you're shooting drones and they are kind of ending up over in his play space, messing up his world, right? So it's a whole another part to this update.
Did you two play that?
No, we haven't had a chance to. But I did want to talk about this. So elaborate on it for us.
I'll talk about it. That was definitely most of my coping mechanism for 2020. So I don't know if you've had a problem in 2020, but here in Europe, there was this thing called coronavirus.
What is that?
Right.
Yeah, I haven't heard of that.
Wow. Let me tell you. Anyway, so my coping mechanism for coronavirus was me and my colleague Tim. We basically just went, well, we can't do Arena this year because
I know
co-location, no. And so Tim and I basically sat in very different rooms and spent that year working on what has now become Versus. So that was more or less what I did last year. We're also working on a non-VR game called Shredders, but in my other non-VR time was spent working on Versus last year. And yeah, so we wanted to make a version of Space Pirate Trainer that was fun and playable for 2 players or more. And that was a lot of work. We spent a lot of time working on a co-op version of Space Pirate Trainer where 2 players are fighting against the waves of droids. But ultimately, we found that was not fulfilling it. It was just you and someone else or 10 other people shooting at stuff. It was just this mindless shooting frenzy. What was more fun was pissing off the person that you were fighting against. And so we found this sort of, I think the thing that broke it was if someone had shields, the other person had guns. That was really fun to just shoot and wait for them to die. And that was one of the first moments where we're like, ha, this is fun. And then we started experimenting that more and more and more, and then found that, oh, wait. It's really fun. If I shoot a droid, 2 droids come for that person. And so we started experimenting with that concept. And then what we've shipped is our ultimate version of revenge.
You know, one of the things I've always loved about Space Pirate Trainer is the obvious influence of like old arcade games, you know, like this is very Galaga, like the way that things fly out and you kind of have to blast them as soon as possible. And as you're explaining that to me, what I'm picturing in my head is Tetris Versus. How you clear a line here, it drops over on that side, and like it's like the same. I feel like it's the same.
I almost feel embarrassed to say that was the design.
yeah, I hear it. I mean, I think it's perfect. It like you have taken some of the things of the classic arcade games, applied them to VR, and just amplified it.
That was the design. It was Tetris Galaga.
Boom! There it is.
There you go.
How you like them apples?
There you go.
And so Tetris Galaga is now on everyone's quests who've previously purchased Space Pirate Trainer.
Dude, I'm all about
and
it.
It's my favorite way of playing Space Pirate Trainer now. I played it earlier today. I was shocked that I put it, because I'm not used to being able to just put it on and play someone, because it's normally a thing I have to coordinate with my teammates. But I put it on before. I played with like 3 strangers, and it was amazing.
Nice.
So it was really cool that other people are playing this right now. So with that game, you can play randomly with strangers, because generally speaking, someone's always online right now.
Yeah, and I do look forward to trying that out. You know, when me and Alex were together, we were just so focused on Arena and just having our mind blown, you know, that it just kind of erased that as even a possibility. We wanted to spend every second playing Arena. And, you know, one of the cool things about Arena that we didn't talk about either is you don't have to have 2 people co-located in the same spot. If you have a friend across the country and he's got like a place to play this, and I'm over here in Arizona, maybe my friend's in Massachusetts, or whatever the case may be, if you got the space, man, they end up in your space.
Yep.
And so, like, there are so many ways now to play Space Pirate Arena. It's insane.
Yeah, Space Pirate Trainer has multiple game modes at this point, and it's like this is a no-brainer. Yeah. Like it really should be in everybody's library. But there is something I want to talk about. It's very topical. This shit's been going down today, and I would love to certainly get some of your thoughts. I know.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, please say shit on our show. Like I tried to tell you before we got in here. Like, hey man, you know, you can say whatever you want.
No, I'm Australian. I have to apologize. We have our way with words.
Okay, well, if you swear on my show again, I'm kicking you off. Right? So don't fucking do that again. So
I'm gonna try.
Where was I going with this?
With some unfortunate things that have been happening.
Yes. So you guys are getting review bombed right now, and
yeah.
Like, what is that like for a development studio? You know, like you guys have obviously.
Well, no, we fully anticipated this. Like our choice to like release a game that requires you to step outside is not. It's a very difficult ask on our consumers. It's not a standard requirement at all. Like to play Arena, you have to probably play this in a place that you have to spend time thinking about finding.
Sure, but
right?
But it's a free update.
Like tomorrow. okay, but still. Tomorrow, right? I have booked a time off at a tennis court to play I can't play this game in my house.
Right.
Like if I pull this green screen down, which I should probably have explained, I tried to make the background of Space Pirate Trainer, but it didn't work before the show started. I'm in a tiny place. I'm in a tiny little house. There's no way I can play Arena in my house. Like no way. Mm-hmm. This room that I'm in is literally 4 meters by 2 meters long, which is a really cool space to play a VR title in. it sucks for Space Pirate Arena. And so one of the reasons why this game may be picked up badly by consumers is that it's different, right? This game requires. I remember when a few years ago, Universal Democracy, what's that game called? This team from London, I think, from some university. Universal Diplomacy. They released this game that required an exceptionally large 3x3 meter space, which is like 15 by 15 feet. Mm-hmm. And that was a Vive only title. So you had to have this setup that was literally the limit of Vive. And my house didn't have it, so I had to pretend that it was big. In many ways that I expect most people who will play Space Pirate Arena will pretend to have 10 by 10. But that in itself was, for me as a young developer, was a way of, it was aspirational. I wanted to have a place that was 3 by 3 meters. But I could never have it. I could sort of play it, and the game just mocked me for it. So I totally understand why people who have their Quest that want to play this game that can't are annoyed by that. I get it.
I don't. I think that's horseshit, because it's like someone like leaving a bad review for the car company that they bought their car from, when out of the blue the car's like, hey, by the way, if you feel like upgrading that car to a limousine for free, you can do it right now. And you're getting pissed because your driveway's not long enough. Like, how is that the car company's fault? Like, they gave you something.
Yeah.
Like, it's your fault for not having a large enough driveway to do all of these things that you have aspirations for.
Like, me and Alex didn't like clear out room in the ship here. We actually had to like land this shit. We had to go find a basketball court somewhere,
dude.
Right? And we had to make it happen. It's not like, it's just the way this is. And it's not just that this was the only update either, right? I mean, there's a full, another multiplayer mode here where you can play in like almost no space.
Dude, it's
crazy to me.
It's like if my electronic drum set out of the blue was just able to transform into an acoustic one that was loud as fuck, and people who live in apartment complexes review bombing the drum set because now they can't play because it's too loud. There's so many reasons why I think that this sucks, and I commend you for taking it in stride, because it's obvious that you guys poured your hearts and souls into this. You gave it to everyone as a free update for a game they already owned, and some people changed their 4-star reviews to 1-star reviews because the fucking car won't fit in their driveway. And to me, that is just like,
yeah, I agree.
It's
not good. Very immature.
I just have to say, eventually they will take their car into a different driveway and realize that the game is good. Now, whether that person realizes that they made a mistake of reviewing the game badly is totally up to them. But I do believe that it is a shift. It is a mental shift to think of gaming outside of the computer and room space into thinking of it an outside thing. And that's why I'm not angry at people. I hope that I'm wrong.
Somewhere, like we rented a fucking basketball court. Like, that's outside of the norm for us. We're not normally renting basketball courts, but I go to recreation centers for recreation, like I'll happily go out and spend money to go do something fun. I've spent 5 times the amount that we spent on our basketball court yesterday to walk around like some boring ass botanical garden here in the desert that had nothing cool in it. Like, people spend their money to do recreational stuff all the time. So for you and your buddies to split a basketball court, drive down the street, take your Quest with you,
and not all of them even require money. There's so many you can go to and just use them for free. And I do get that some people there is no option, but that doesn't mean you paid for something that you can't use. You're giving something for free. It's a zero loss thing here.
Right.
And someday, if you do have the opportunity, you now have something amazing at your fingertips to do with your friends it's going to blow everyone's minds.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and the thing that I'm truly excited about is that other companies, other teams making content that requires large space. Like, we've made our example. I'm really excited about someone else making theirs and making those moments where do find that space at the basketball court or at the tennis court or wherever, making those moments just brilliant, because you've hired this space for this insanely large VR experience. And it's cool if our game exists, but how cool would it be if just insane tennis existed?
Mm-hmm.
Or just unbelievable football existed. Mm-hmm. All these sports that just cannot exist, like multi-ball. Just boom, there's 10,000 balls that you can kick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Bring that on.
Yeah.
So there's so many, that was a very silly example of a sport, but like there is so much stuff you can do in large spaces that are previously unimaginable.
Yeah.
That now that we're making it normal to put a VR headset in that space, maybe we'll do it.
Dude, I would love to see some like dedicated spaces for these types of experiences that are like reskinnable and like designed to be for that
tennis courts
case. Sure.
Yeah.
Tennis courts. I imagine stuff that has like movable like
saw
pillars
it
and
at,
shit, you know, like a pillar that comes up for this map that you could actually lean into.
We saw it at OC5. I think they did a Dead and Buried experience where, you know, the game, it was never released, but it was a full run around and duck behind actual things that were there, you know, that they mapped to the environment. I believe Oculus said that the Quest is capable of a Guardian of some ridiculous amount, like 120 meters or feet or something like that, right? So I feel like as they make this platform more stable, we're probably going to end up being able to take up an entire basketball court or even larger, you know, rent a hall, right? And really be able to run around and completely immerse ourselves in environments like this. And I think it'd be super cool if, as the Oculus Guardian expanded, you know, maybe these guys here will update the game to expand.
People would use the space,
you know?
bro.
Yeah.
People would use as much space as you give them.
Obviously, the second that we can make our game bigger, we do it.
Nice.
So I give you the guarantee.
People
Excellent.
will absolutely use it. Like I played around with what I was capable of doing yesterday when we had the court, and I was jogging around the perimeter and like really just trying to like get comfortable and like feel normal using my feet with the VR headset on, you know. And I would have taken 4 times that size. So that way I can
absolutely.
just dead sprint, you know, like booking it.
Because then, you know, then it opens up possibilities to have even more players in there too.
Right.
The bigger the space, the more people you can fit in there and have it feel natural and not, you know, not be crammed in a space that seems so big until you fill it with walls and obstacles and things like that. Mm-hmm. But I'm very, very excited to see where this goes and to see how it grows and to see what happens as Oculus expands their Guardian system. And also to see what happens when eventually Oculus gets their shit together for the business applications, right? Currently, you can't run quests and location-based entertainment. It's against their terms of service. It's not something that can be done. I know at Springboard they don't support quests because of that specifically. Yeah. And you know, but once, I can't imagine that's a forever thing, right? Because Oculus, I'm sure Facebook wants money. We all want our product to do well and generate as much revenue as possible for us, right? So eventually it will come to business and we will have actual places that are made for this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? For experiences like this, to be able to run around with your Quest. You come in, you bring your own Quest, right? And you play something like Space Pirate Arena. And I'm excited for the future. This really shows me the future of virtual reality and what it's capable of.
Absolutely. Chroma Snare is here. Hey, Chroma Snare, thanks for joining us here live on Between Realities. And Eric Hartley sliding in.
Oh, what's up, Eric?
It's good to see you, E-.
How you doing?
You know, since we have a moment here, I think we should just take a second to thank our sponsor this week.
Yes.
Because we've had a sponsor for the week, you know, our first week back with the podcast, and it, of course, has been Virtual Athletics League. We're in the last weekend right now of the summer games for Virtual Athletics League. Yep. So this is like the final chance for you guys to get in there. There are $20,000 worth of prizes up for grabs for Val's summer games, and there are way too many games to compete in, and you don't even have to be like good at the game for some of these. You just got to be cool and love it. So get in there. Thank you, Val, for sponsoring Between Realities this week, and check out the Virtual Athletics League with their summer games this year. They are awesome. By the way, we'll never take a sponsor on the show that isn't awesome. Just for the record, like if we have someone on and we're like, hey, this week we're sponsored by so and so, assume that we think that thing is great, because we're not going to have something on here and we're not just going to like shill for no reason. You know what I mean? Like, we're happy to take the help where we can get it from people who we love. So there you go.
If I could take some of that like guilt away from you two, I love Val too.
There it is.
Nice.
Good. There
Val's awesome.
You hear that, Val? Space Pirate Trainer loves you.
So I think we were on like Val's second or third tournament, and they were so lovely. It was so good to work with them. So we love you, Val.
Great people, great games involved. Everything about the organization is fantastic. And, you know, in the future, that's going to be dominated by virtual reality. We're going to have some amazing esports leagues like this that are going to come up, and we're just happy to be a part of it. I would rather watch esports than real sports.
Yeah, me too.
Like for real. And I've spent a lot of time watching esports. So there we have it. We kind of went back and forth on this yesterday while we were playing Space Pirate Arena. Currently 1v1 only.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because we were like, you couldn't get another body in here. Like, it would be pretty tight.
Well, you can, but it's not as fun.
Right.
Oh, because there's less places to hide.
We've experimented with it. So we started off original, like I'd say the first year of our development was assuming 4x4 would be fun, but once we actually got into actual real testing, it became really slow. And so once you have 1 versus 1 in a 30 by 30 feet space, it's a fast, funky, awesome game. But as soon as you throw a third player in, it becomes this almost like 3 people standing in room scale.
Yeah.
So you got 3 people standing in their little 15 by 15 meter spaces, and it's not a fun experience. I mean, it is fun in the sense that you're playing a game in room scale, but it was no longer an arena scale experience.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. What about the versus mode? How many people can play that?
That currently is 2.
That's 2 as well.
So that's 2 at a time.
Great.
But we have plans to make that a tournament mode.
Nice.
What does that mean?
Well, we hope to, if that catches on, if people enjoy versus, we intend to increase this to up to 16 players. So people join teams and wait to become the Space Pirate Trainer champion.
Whoa.
Wow.
Damn. Well, I would love to see how that's done. You know,
Yes.
especially if there's like presence for 16 people. You know, one thing that I think is absolutely crucial with multiplayer VR is presence. Like, you need, like, just the voice is not good enough for me. Like, I need to see something, whether it's just the hands and anything, but there needs to be some kind of presence. So I'm excited to see what happens with that.
Presence is something that you guys crushed it with in Arena, so I have a feeling that will probably be the case.
Honestly, in Arena, we've been playing with presence for a long time. Like, there's one moment where it was not long ago, it was a few weeks ago, maybe a month, 2 ago, we were playing with a Spectator Cam option, which may be coming.
Nice.
This is a hint of the future. So Spectator Cam may be coming. We were playing with this idea of what it's like to be a spectator, but we hadn't turned off the body of the spectator. So the spectator was a camera, but it was also a body.
It's like hanging from it as it's like floating.
It was a physical avatar of player. And so we had this meet with me in Belgium, Patrick in San Francisco, and we were just like hanging out, talking. And I was the Spectator Cam, and I was this giant in maybe 120 meter body. But because of the way that the arena is set, all you could see was my feet. So Patrick's talking to my feet like that's who I was. But I could see him from way above. I didn't realize that my feet were size 16,000, but they were. And so, yeah, that was one of the moments in embodiment. It can get weird really quick.
I can imagine. You know, it's really simple. But one of the things that I really loved after getting shot in Arena was seeing the outline of myself and then the outline of Skiva over there and the trajectory of my bullet. Like it shows where you were, like real life scale, where he was real life scale, and then the trajectory of the shot that hit you to kill you. And you can like look at that while you're resetting and preparing to go to the next spawn point. And I got stuck on those. I was like, whoa.
So speaking of Patrick in San Francisco, this is Patrick from Tiltbrush. He's the guy that was at least 50% of the original Tiltbrush team. So he joined our team in January. First things he did was working on what he calls crime scene, which was when you shoot someone, you can see what happened. And once you've seen it, you're like, every game should do this.
Yeah,
totally.
Because you know you have this moment of embellishing your own death. You go, that's what happened. They were over there and I was here. Or you can see that sad moment where you killed yourself.
Yep.
Yes.
And
that's important to get better.
Crime scene changed the game for us, because we often complained about like who shot us? Was it you? Was it me? But I had my shield up. You see it in a second. So there's no more question about did I die or not?
Yep. And
because crime scene caught it.
And it slows everything down. And like, because a lot of times in like high action games, unless you are like really aware of that game and everything that's going on, there's like no context for anything that happens. Like all of a sudden someone drops and you're like, wait, what? Like, you know, and like there's no time for you guys to slow it down and share that moment. Like maybe you know something cool happened, but he doesn't, you know, or vice versa. Maybe he knows he did that cool thing, but you don't. And when you have that moment, you both meet and you both kind of get to enjoy that moment together before it just passes and you're on to the next exciting thing. Like that ricochet shot that I was mentioning, that's exactly what happened. Like I saw it come off and hit me in the wall, and then I took a step back. And I'm like, oh my God, you were behind me. And that bullet traveled and bounced off the wall. And we were like, my brain was melting. And that maybe wouldn't have been as intense and as exciting if I didn't have that crime scene. So I think that is huge. Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. It looks amazing and it feels great. And it's always good. It's good to see that stuff because, you know, just like the instant replay things on a lot of flat games that you see, it's good to see because then you can kind of use that in your next playthrough to say, okay, so this is what happened. This is how I'm going to try to combat that happening again. And it's just a way to get better as well, and just to get better at a game.
Yeah.
So, I'm really glad that you guys mentioned the Spectator Camera, because when doing actual esports that are competitive with an audience and people watching, it's so important and so crucial to have something like that, right? We've played in some esports tournaments and we've watched a lot of esports tournaments, and things like Onward would just not be as fun to watch if someone wasn't able to fly around and kind of look and see what was happening and have a different perspective than the person actually playing the game. It just offers something completely different. It's very, very much like watching. It would be very weird if you watched football every Sunday, but only through one person's eyes in the game. It's just not a fun way to do things, right? And so I think a Spectator Camera, when talking about the possibility of actual legit esports with this game is great, and I think super critical for the success of making it an esport. So bravo. Hopefully that happens.
Yeah, it's definitely part of our plan is to integrate this sooner than later.
Nice.
You know, one of the things that I love about video games that are good is that they are balanced and they are easy to pick up and learn, but insanely hard to master. And I would say that in its current state, Space Pirate Arena is that, you know, each person has the same gun, you have the same shield, and you have the same tools in your kit. Who's going to use them better? Let's fucking do this. You know, like I love that. I love when, you know, there's like a lobby of people who are inexperienced. It's just fun and chaos. And then you get a lobby of people who really know what they're doing, and it's tension and intensity. So I think you guys have something really good on your hands. And I'm kind of curious, when it comes to balancing, like, do you intend on keeping things the way they are, right? Like, this is the blaster, this is the shield, that's all there is to it? Or have you ever considered stuff like loadouts or classes or anything like that?
We've considered it, but really we want to keep it as simple as possible to make sure that new players understand what this is. So we are very aware of how young VR is, right? So VR as a industry it's baby times. And we're aware that a lot of people are very expert in VR, like the people that have been playing it since 2016. But most people still haven't played Space Pirate Trainer. Most people. Like legit, most gamers have not played Space Pirate Trainer or heard of Space Pirate Trainer. And so for us to start making it an assumption that people find it, I just say that to us to start to punish people for not knowing how to play Space Pirate Trainer feels a bit wrong. Let's put it that way, because most people haven't played it. Now, to put in some sort of balancing stuff, that's something different. To start balancing future players from like, for example, I mean, I don't know this, but I believe it. Alex, I could whip your ass.
Oh man, dude, we are going to rumble.
and I would like to whip your ass.
Oh, I would love that.
Mode or Space Pirate Trainer.
I would love that.
Maybe in a future episode.
Yeah, let's do
but
it.
I don't know that, but I would like to taunt you with that concept. And one of my things that we'd like to do is make sure that should you not be as good as, or as at least as experienced as a space pirate as I am, maybe we could balance that out. And with the Oculus platform, that's all possible. And so with random matchmaking, it makes it easier. But when it comes to Arena, we haven't implemented random matchmaking. You have to know the person you're playing.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, because if you're going to matchmake in a game that really is skill-based, like strictly skill-based.
In physical.
And physical.
It's extremely physical.
Yeah.
And you're limited to your physical abilities as well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the big problem.
The main reason why we haven't done that with Arena is because we assume that we're really early here on this requiring 10 by 10 meter space. We kind of assume that if you click on random in the game, the likelihood of someone else also clicking on random globally is like low.
Right. Yeah, because you got to be somewhere where you can play this shit. Like it's like an event. You have to like plan it.
And so I know that I can't play it anywhere in my house. I can't play it. Our office, we can play it. But the likelihood of you being able to just randomly click on like play random person and find someone also requires that someone else clicked on random. But so we've implemented Arena as a friend only thing, assuming that you'd plan it with either a person in co-location with someone that you know will play at 4 p.m. on Saturday.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because it's a weird thing to do.
That totally makes sense. And I mean, I guess that can become a bridge that you guys cross when you get to it. You know, like right now, it's a big problem with Population 1 because Population 1 has full lobbies 24 hours a day. And somebody with insane skill gets randomly dropped into a lobby with a bunch of scrubs and just wipes the floor with them and like makes people not want to play the game anymore, you know? So I guess until you have lobbies that are just like filling and like
you gotta
rotating,
have the players, you gotta get the numbers, man.
Yeah, but this is going to be really hard, you know, like to his point, like that might not
so we have matchmaking in what we call Versus, which is Space Pirate Trainer but multiplayer, but it's impossible to have matchmaking in Arena until everyone gets cool with having 10 by 10 spaces.
But you know what was kind of awesome though is while I was playing yesterday, Ryan from the VR Grid and the Virtual Boys podcast sent me an invite while I was playing. Like I'm playing and like bing, he like invited you to a match, and I was like, oh, like I wanted to say yes because I knew. Like, what? He's also in a 10 by 10 right now? Like, he just invited me? Like, we're both online at the same time? Holy shit. And I wanted to say yes, but of course I didn't because Skiva and I were there in the same space playing together. But I did think that was awesome because it registered on my mind that the chances of somebody playing in a 10 by 10 space at the exact same time as me, probably pretty slim.
Especially right at the very beginning, right?
Well, right at the very beginning, I would expect there be the highest chance because it's the first day. Everyone's trying to play it,
Yeah, true.
Maybe that's like the day that everyone jumps on it. Do you guys get that kind of information? Like, do you see how many people are playing Arena? Like, was it like a big push right off the bat?
I mean, we can see, but we honestly don't care. Oh. We're kind of the anti-Silicon Valley company. We don't want to know. We made this game because we like to make this game.
That's obvious.
Yeah.
It's totally obvious. Yeah.
It was definitely, you could tell there was a lot of passion put into this. With everything, with every single texture, with every detail of this game. There was just obviously a lot of passion that went into it, and it came across in the gameplay. It really did. So yes, who do we have here in chat right now?
Dude, Glenn Ratcliffe has been chilling. Chroma Snare has been chilling. Nathy's here.
Very cool.
Brittany, my darling, is here. Traveling Man, Duty's been here. Of course, E- has been here too. Thank you guys all for watching the broadcast today. Talking about Space Pirate Arena, or really Space Pirate Trainer DX is what we've been talking about today with Chris Hanney from iIllusions.
Yeah. Yep. I was going to say something and then I decided not to. So
fair enough. Well, I mean, I think we're about there.
I think so.
We're getting towards the end of our broadcast here. If it's not obvious, we love this game. We love Space Pirate Trainer. We especially love.
Bless your cotton socks.
Yeah. We love Space Pirate Arena. I wasn't lying when I said that we literally have been waiting for this to come out. We've been waiting years. By the way, I did have a question. I'm glad I remembered it. If the pandemic hadn't happened, when would this have come out? Would this have come out like a lot sooner?
Well, yeah. So, pandemic, like, what would the world have been without COVID?
Right. That's another show.
So our plan was to show the game off at GDC 2020. We had silly plans to show the game off in very inappropriate places all around GDC, like to slowly make 10 by 10 meter spaces in places where you cannot have 10 by 10 meter spaces, film it for like 20 seconds and then move away. We had all these plans on making like guerrilla 10 by 10 at GDC, and then to release it that day.
Wow.
Just also, you can get it for free on wherever you want.
Wow.
But that week was also the primary week where the entire planet, Asia had mostly shut down, but Europe shut down that week, and so did the United States. And so we fell into this world of like, well, we can't release a game that involves people and space.
Yep. Yeah, I remember.
And so I think our immediate reaction was just to throw everything away and focus on our other game, Shredders, which we're super excited about. It's coming out later this year.
Nice.
It's a snowboarding game, but that's aside from this podcast.
Do some
spent a
footage here
whole bunch of time. I can sell it if you want.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a snowboarding game. It's coming out on Xbox. It's gonna be fantastic. Shredders. Good game. Shreddersgame.com. But then we spent a lot of time in 2020 trying to work out how to find our VR roots. Oh, you playing the trailer? That's it.
Yeah,
I am.
pretty sweet, huh?
The game looks fantastic. Jesus. It looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, I've played some snowboarding games in my day, and this looks gorgeous. I obviously wish it had a VR mode, but it's coming out for Xbox. There's no VR in Xbox.
I'm telling you, there'll be no VR mode. We can't handle this as a team.
You're like, no, we're not going there, dude.
We're not going there. We're all very, very sensitive to the stomach. There's a reason why our games don't have stick motion.
Oh, okay.
I was going to mention earlier that Space Pirate is like and always will be an ideal first timer. You
Oh,
know,
yeah,
like
for
you
sure.
never have to feel weird about putting a first time VR user into a Space Pirate game. Like it's just comfortable and awesome. They're going to love it. They're not going to be uncomfortable.
Right.
It's great.
Yep. And this, you know, and Shredders looks great, man. And if I still had an Xbox, I would definitely try it for sure. But yeah, no, the trailer looks good. The gameplay looks good. The way the snow reacts looks fantastic. It looks like a great game.
So what?
Anyway, it feels weird to interject our history with this, but it's true. Like we did spend most of 2020 making this.
Wow.
But, and this is a big but, I spent a bunch of my 2020 with a colleague of mine making what is now called Versus in Space Pirate Trainer DX. And so while we were super busy with Shredders, and also thinking, how can we ever release Arena? Oh, God. We were thinking about something else, which we've been thinking about since at least 2015, how to play Space Pirate Trainer with 2 players. And that's always been a big part of our deal, because we like multiple players. Multiplayer is fun.
I love it.
But it's hard. And so, yeah, we spent a whole bunch of time working out how to make multiplayer work. We think we've got it. This is our final push to say this is Space Pirate Trainer with multiplayer, but there's a chance we'll tweak it in the future, but we're pretty happy with what we have.
Wow,
it's pretty good.
So what now? Like, are you guys like, it's out, it's finally here, years of hard work, blood, sweat, and tears out there for everyone to enjoy. Are you gonna take a breather, right? Like, you gonna relax a little bit?
No,
or do you guys
no,
got your foot on the pedal?
No. There's no time for that shit. We really want to start for player modes. Like, one of my favorite ways of playing Versus is with Voltons, which is the bat thing that you can sort of grab onto droids and punch them on the ground. So one of the things we really want to work on is ways to enforce gameplay. So if you want to play around, you only have to use this gun, or you have to use Voltons, or you have to use just shields, stuff like that. So we have a whole bunch of things we want to sort of test on our community to see, are they okay with this? But now that we have a community that are playing multiplayer, we're getting close.
Nice.
Dude. Chris Hanney, thank you so much for joining us today. This has been such a great conversation to have. We have been so stoked for this. We love what you guys are doing. Thank you for all of your hard work making something like this possible for everybody at home who has a Quest. This is the kind of thing, like you mentioned earlier, like it was going here, right? Like VR has to go here, and we are very proud that you guys made it happen. You know, like this is something that we all want. We all want to be able to share the same space, be in VR together, engage in these really intense and profound ways. And we're grateful. So thank you so much for coming onto the show, for talking with us, and for making Space Pirate a reality for everyone.
Thanks, dude.
It's been a pleasure. So yeah, I kind of want to summarize my old nonsense by saying it's been great to be able to talk. Arena is definitely where we want to go in the future. Versus is where we believe most of our concurrency is. So it's not just that Versus is all we care about. We really care about Arena. So yeah, we're very excited to focus on Arena and growing in that space. And thank you so much for having us.
That being said, everyone go play Versus, because we're all talking about Arena, but Versus is the shit and you need to try it. Thank you, Chris.
Versus you can play right now.
Go play it. Go play it. You don't need a 30 by 30 space. All right, we're going to let you go. Everyone say goodbye to Chris, and we're going to kick him off of the Between Reality ship. Goodbye, Chris Hanney from Space Pirate Eye Illusions. That was fantastic, wasn't it?
That was awesome, dude. You know, I've always wanted to talk to these guys. They are the OG freaking VR guys, man. I mean, they were like a launch title on the Vive or close to it if they weren't. But this game has been a part of me for a very long time.
And
so
you're
this
the
was
OG
very
VR
cool.
guy. It's you. You know who else is the OG VR guy? Our audience. Thank you guys
Heck
so
yeah.
much for being here. You
Thank
guys
you.
are all early adopters and obviously passionate VR folk if you're here watching our show. This is like a tier in. You got to dig into VR to be here in Between Realities, and you guys all are, and we're so happy to have you. D1 360 VR, Texas Green Tea, Eric Hartley, Dark Angel, Sampler 19. What's up, dude? Delirium Drew snuck in here before
What's
we
up,
wrapped
Drew?
things up. I saw somebody else, Oliver JT. Hey, I hope you're still here, Oliver. Great to see you. And of course, Nathan, everybody who's been here hanging out and chat with us, your support means the world.
It
Thank
does.
you for
Thank
the
you.
super chats. Thank you to our Patreons. Just thank you. You guys are amazing, and we love doing this show, and we love you. What's going on, Skiva? What are we doing next week?
Next week, we have Alexander from Starcade Arcade. Alexander has been both of these guys have been an absolutely amazing part of the VR community, not only making games, but being out there supporting other content creators, other developers, and just showing what the VR community is really made of.
Dude,
So
these
very
developer
excited to have
talks,
him.
bro.
Yeah.
We're just digging in with developers here so far with season 4. I'm loving it.
Heck yeah.
Well, there it is, everyone. We will
right.
see you at 3 p.m. Pacific a week from now on Friday with Alexander Clark from Starcade Arcade as our guest. Anything else?
I think that'll do it.
I think that's going to do it, everybody.
That'll do it.
Thank you so much for being here. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend.
See you later. Bye-bye.